Hello, Virgo, Sun, Moon, Risings, and the Cross Watchers. Welcome to your Psychic Tarot reading covering November 1st to November 15th, 2019. I'm Natalee, spelled Natalee, and we're doing this tarot reading. Just really quickly, the strongest energies that came through for you are fatigue, yes, fatigue and lower back pain. Back pain, it doesn't have to be lower back pain. They had me feel it to convey this message to you. So it can be upper, it could be anywhere in the back, but what the significance of that is, the lower back pain is telling me that you're taking on too much. Okay? So if you are literally experiencing the back pain, if it's lower back pain, you're taking on too much. That goes right in with the fatigue. And if you are experiencing upper back pain, oh my God, happy Mercury retrograde, Virgos. I have it reversed. Lower back pain. Okay, so the fatigue first. Okay, so for some of you, the fatigue will come from taking on too much. And for some of you, the fatigue will come from doing things that you feel are beneath you. Okay? So that's one or the other or both. Physically, if you are physically feeling upper back pain, that means that you feel like you're taking on too much. If you are physically feeling lower back pain, it could be that you are feeling like you are doing something that is beneath you and you're sort of resentful of it. You're like, oh, I don't want to do that. That's beneath me. Okay. So in any case, when you have back pain, go to a doctor, take some. Okay, I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not any kind of doctor, actually. So definitely they communicated the lower back pain to me as metaphor and symbolism for this reading. So always go to the doctor, get stuff checked out. Don't just take my word for it if I'm, about your back pain. Okay, you guys get that whole disclaimer type message. Excellent. Okay, so that's the strongest message those are the strongest messages that are coming through for you, Virgs, Sun, Moon, Rising, and, welcome to the Cross Watchers. So as we get into this reading, elements of this reading are going to be for different groups of you, okay? And so when there's an element that's not resonating, that's your Scooby snack, so just let that go on to the next Virgo. And the elements that do resonate, please perk up. It's a big classroom, okay? We have a lot of people learning a lot of stuff. And perk up so you can get your tonic, your Natalinian tonic. All right, Virgs, let's go ahead and see what this is really all about. What do we have for my Virgos for November 1st to the 15th, the first half of November? Keep in mind that all of my readings are timeless. So if you see something in the archives, it could resonate with you now. Likewise, if you're clicking into this reading in 2039, it could still resonate with something going on for you right now. Virgo. Whoa. Addicted to the light. I can't get enough of it. That's not a real song. It's just me being ridiculous. Okay, but this is seriously, I'm feeling like a moth to a flame. Like a moth to the flame. That is a real song. I'm just singing it horribly. Okay. The Devil with the Star. These are huge energies. This feels like, I don't want to say addicted to inspiration. It's some of you are keeping yourself from healing. Some of you are keeping yourself from, I feel it already. I feel the fatigue. Virgos. Oh my God, this is gonna, I can feel it already. Okay. This, you have this healing energy coming up with this. So some of you are either going to sort of overcome this devilish influence. This could be an addiction that you're fighting. Okay, so when you're fatigued, if you're doing something you feel is beneath you, if you're just taking on too much, that's what you're addicted to. Okay, that's the addiction, that's the crutch, that's the codependency. I'm picking up, they're giving me codependency, codependent relationships, codependent on people. Okay, I feel like Virgo, you're the provider and you have dependents that are dependent onto you. And you like that. You are dependent on your dependence. So I know that you are fatigued and that you are tired and that you don't want to. So let's, oh God, here we go. We're going to really dig into this now, because you have this healing energy right available to you, like right there. So I feel like this is something that you can fix like pretty quickly, just like that. It's so next to itself. There could be a Capricorn involved. Hey, okay. But there's definitely, it's right around you. There's this presence, this purity. You could be the pure energy too. You could be this pure energy, Virgo. I'm just getting this for you, okay? So let's see where this goes, because I feel like you're one thought away. You're one moment away. You're one feeling, one consideration, one thought outside the box away from like letting that go. Turning that devilish energy into, you know, it's not something controlling how you feel. You're controlling yourself and what you're feeling about whatever your dependents are, that's like a choice. Okay, probably need some boundaries, but let's see what's going on here. Let's take another look. What's the next message for my Virgos? So this is going to be a big theme for the first half of November. Let's see, Virgo, where are you on the wheel? There you are. Virgo, so Scorpio, September, October, November, that's your third house axis with your ninth house axis that we have this new moon in Scorpio in. So communication is going, what did I just say? I just picked up the card that flipped out. Communication, right on time. Communication is going to be what gets you out of a codependent situation, Virgo. And I do feel like you are the codependent person in this. The dependents, let me put it this way, Virgo. You could be making life harder for yourself by going out of your way to keep the dependents dependent on you so that you have some form of relationship with them. Okay, so if there's an easier way to do something or more convenient, like think of what's best for you and not, you might be thinking, okay, I don't even want to go down that rabbit hole. Let's pull it back to the focus on communication. So I was talking about how you have this new moon in Scorpio, which is like your solar third house. So whatever time you were born, you have a different ascendant, but all of you, if you're a Virgo sun, all of you will begin your wheel, your solar chart with Virgo, giving you a third house ruled by Scorpio. Communication is, okay, so we have that new moon. It was opposing your ninth house, which you have as Taurus, and we have Uranus in the early degrees of Taurus, my love. So there could be this past week, so I'm recording this Halloween, October 31st. Happy Halloween. So you could have this past week, so that new moon was Sunday. So this past week, there could have been a jolt, a shock, something unexpected come up that it could have been either the communication. It's some form of communication with that new moon energy. But it's coming from the ninth house, which is saying that Uranus is stirring up your higher philosophy. So if you're in an organized religion, if you're in a cult, if you're in a weird spiritual group or whatever, I don't know. I'm being funny. Please laugh. That shock had to do with that. It could have shaked your belief system. It could have, but I'm not really getting like the belief system. It could be, but I'm getting the dependent. Okay, so whatever you're feeling and thinking about the codependency, it's a ninth house philosophical. It threads into what you think about life and love and human relationships, okay? It's that. So we need a perspective shift there, and that will make the communication be what helps you turn this devilish energy into a little bitty little bat sitting on your shoulder instead of a big beast that you're like, okay? So yeah, so communication is going to be your out in this, Virgo, for sure. But like I said before, it has to be like the correct communication, because I feel like from November 1st to the 15th, that first half of the month, we have the Taurus full moon November 12th. So this is great energy for you to work through. We have your ruler retrograding today. So when I publish this today, you're going to be like, okay. Okay, Virgos. So that new moon in the third house, Sunday, from October 27th to November 12th. That's your window here that you have to really work through this energy and really go back in your mind. The more you work the energy, the better that full moon is going to be, okay? So last month's new moon in Libra. So if you did that energy well, if you had a great Libra new moon and Aries full moon, a few weeks ago, then this is going to be better for you, because that new moon in Libra in your second house excuse me. Ooh, someone has an energy that doesn't want that to come through. That second house, that Libra, Mercury retrograde too, a little bit, but no, someone actually, I felt it. There's nothing in my throat. Okay, it wasn't food or anything. The third house new moon in, the second house new moon in Libra, previous from this, was supposed to help you, give that new moon, that new growth opportunity to build up your self-confidence, build up your self-esteem, build up your earning potential. A new moon in your second house, a new way to make income, passive income, waterfall revenue streams, okay, whatever that was. You could have had an idea, about it. If you had a great Aries full moon, that would have been your 8th house, right? That would have been your 8th house. So that's really, so not only the self-worth that you came through from that last moon cycle, Virgos, it's also had to do with your resources with other people. So the new moon was in your second house of Libra, what you have, your money, your income, the money that you're making, and how you feel about yourself, because that second house supports that first house of the self. And then that full moon in Aries that we had, a couple of weeks ago, was in your 8th house. So something could have culminated at that time, Virgs, regarding your partner's money, and it doesn't have to be like your marriage partner or your boyfriend, your girlfriend. It could be anyone that you're in partnership with. It could be a business venture, for the most simplest example. So something could have culminated or ended at that time regarding those agreements or those, whatever. So you can look back at that time around that Aries full moon and see what was going on in your life. Go back in your journals, go through your emails, the pictures on your phone, text messages, and look for those triggers, because that helps determine how you're going to handle the next moon cycle, new moon, full moon, and how you handle this Scorpio Taurus. This is a rough one, because we had that new moon in Scorpio opposing that Uranus in the early degrees of Taurus in your 9th house. Okay, so it's a little bit rough. I think Libra's had something going on too, so that'll help determine. And then it goes like that. So it keeps going. Every month we build off of what we did well or what we didn't do well, and it all, okay, everything's connected. So saying all of that to help jog you as to what this is. If you don't already know, you should probably know the codependent. When I said codependency, it probably triggered you the right way, though. It's supposed to trigger. Anything that is triggering, that gets you angry. I mean, I know my triggers. I try to stay away from my triggers, okay? I try to really, put up my boundaries, and I'm like, I know I don't want to go there. I can't go there, because then I can't work my job. I can't do my thing. I can't be Natalie. I can't, it's like it halts everything. That kind of negative energy, it just really reduces power, and I'm all about power because I'm in a Capricorn. Okay, let's go ahead and get another card for you. What's the next message after the 8 of Staves? Because it's about, this moon cycle is about communication for you. It's about being able to communicate the higher philosophy. So around that November 12th full moon, give it 4 days before and then give it 4 days after, Virgo. You can have, the best place that you can take this is to have a full conversation or a complete conversation, just a very clear conversation regarding your needs, regarding your give me a second. being able to express and not defend, but being able to defend your own philosophy. And because what the new moon, October 27th, full moon, November 12th, there's a quarter moon, okay? What that is wanting to do is make an adjustment. You're going to have a crisis in action and then a crisis in consciousness in every full moon cycle. New moon, quarter moon, full moon, quarter moon, new moon. Those quarter moons are the crisis in action, things physically happening, and then crisis in consciousness, when you can have a little breakdown, little moment, little cry fest about something. Okay? They happen to get us, to help us move that energy along so that we can get to where we need to go. It's all about evolving the soul. You guys know the whole drill. Okay? Now for real, let's get a next card. What's the next energy? Speaking of which, here you are in your own natural energy, Virgo. You're going to have to go home. You're going to have to get cozy, be alone, go off alone. The hermit goes up to the mountain to feel pain. To feel the pain, to feel all the pain. As long as it takes. It's when you reduce yourself to that inner child, most vulnerable state where you cry, a lot of purging, a lot of crying, and you ask God, the cosmos, Buddha, whatever, you ask anything and anything that's out there for a response, for an answer as to why this happened to me, why this didn't happen to me, how could this have happened, how could this not have happened. Like everything that didn't happen in your life, all of the things that you wanted, all the things that you were averse to, all of the things that you resent, everything. You go up to the mountain and you really purge it all out. And when you're asking those questions, when you are looking for the answers, you're in a state so emotionally, not compromised, but so vulnerable and open that your soul is literally begging for the truth. That's when you're ready for the truth, when you're just begging for it. Most of the time, we never want it. We never, I don't need to unpack that. I can't unpack the traumas of my past. I have to go to work. I have to do this. I have responsibility. I can't afford to do that, okay? Sometimes this happens to us in the most inconvenient moments, of course. But when we don't do this, when we don't do our hermit work, and when we let our own vices pile up within us, Virgo, they create our reality and they result in a tower moment. Because quantum tunneling, perfect example, the sun and the sunlight. Quantum tunneling is getting through a barrier you shouldn't be able to get through. The sun's rays quantum tunnel through Earth's protective atmospheric barrier and gets to us. It shouldn't be able to do that, but it does. Likewise, everything you're thinking, your actual thoughts, Virgo, all of your emotions, your actual emotions, what you're feeling, your feelings, quantum tunnel from within you outward. They quantum tunnel outward and create your reality. That's the quantum mechanics, the quantum physics of it. The spirituality aspect of it is as above, so below. Okay, so when you put off this work, this is for everybody, not just for Virgos, okay? When we put off this work, it grows and it manifests into tower moments. It manifests into disappointments. It manifests into every single thing you're thinking and feeling. So if you have these unresolved issues, if you have these unresolved addictions, like to codependency, let's say you're codependent, in whatever relationship that you're in, you're codependent on whatever's dependent on you. You're only, the first thing I got into it, I started your reading like right away. I'm like, I'm not sitting in fatigue for a longer moment than I need to. I'm not sitting in this back pain longer than I need to. Like me as Natalie, like I'm in and I'm out of this kind of energy. Like I'm not sustaining this. You guys, I don't know how long you've been like this, but you gotta shake that. You gotta snap, crackle, pop that loose, man. You gotta see, now my neck is getting, some of you could have like a neck thing. See, my neck wasn't hurting before. Now my neck hurts, the left side of my neck and my lower right of my back hurts. So, okay, Virgs. So yeah, it's gonna start manifesting in physical pain. It's gonna manifest in toxins, in relationships. What we're here to do is reduce the damage. We're damage control. We're mitigating risk to zero. Okay, So, I'm saying all that to empower you to do the hermit work, because no one really wants to do this. And some of us, we do it. Little baby hermit work is like when you're crying and purging, but it goes nowhere. You don't learn anything. You don't get the wisdom. When you're doing the hermit work, it's hermit work when you get the answers and you get the truth, and you let the truth affect you. You let the truth change your life. You got to get to the root of why you're codependent on codependency. Because you're independent, Virgo. I'm not picking up a Virgo who needs someone else, actually. I'm picking up Virgos that are like working fucking hard. All right? It's like tiring, everything that you're doing running around, but it's like you don't need to be doing this. Okay? So what this could be is a repressed memory that you don't remember. Or it's something you definitely remember. It's one or the other. If it's something you do remember, you do know exactly what this is, then you know what you're going to do at some point after this reading ends, okay? If this is something that you're wondering, like, I don't know, I'm not seeing it, Natalie, I'm not getting it. This could be something that, like, let's say your parents are together now, they've always been together, they've always been married, always been happy. Let's say you always had a great example of a relationship, but you yourself are all these dependents on you, codependency, never was with a partner who could be independent or who could be strong on their own as an individual. They always needed you, okay? It could be that when you were 3 months old, it could be that your dad left. It could be that your mom left. Let's say when you were 3 months old, one of your parents left for 3 weeks. 3 weeks? 3 weeks. 3 little weeks. At the very beginning of your life. And the parent that was with you was flipping their shit. They got over it, obviously. Everything smoothed over, moved along. But for those 3 weeks, you had a parent that was codependent on you because you were the only thing they could focus on. You were the only thing that was keeping them going. You were the only thing that was keeping your parent sane. You got that parent through this crisis in the family. The parent came back, you guys moved on, and they never told you, because why would they? Oh, wow, Natalie, yeah. You got to go there to get that, so that you can take that knowledge, that information, you can react to it, you can cry, you can learn all the gory details about it, talk to your parents, really, really get the truth of this. Cry, purge. Crying relieves pressure in the head. It's actual molecular little tears that we're creating from the inside. So your body's pushing it out. It's pushing out the pain physically through those tears. So purging is great. Let yourself cry in the shower, cry in the car, cry wherever you cry. And then you can let it go. And you can let it go. Okay? Then you communicate. With whoever's dependent on you. Boundaries. That hand, I just saw boundaries. Okay? Because you're tired, Virgo. I'm tired with you. Is there another message for Virgos for this? Oh, I love it. Yay. I almost didn't want to shuffle because I'm like, what if it's a horrible card? There's like a few minutes on the clock. What if, But they told me to shuffle, so of course I did. I do what I'm told. And we have the Empress. So Virgos, once you do this hermit work, I loved it that I can tell you this. Once you do this hermit work, you are really living life. Like look at how opposite this energy is. Does she look like she has back pain? Does she look like she sleeps on a pillow that's going to make her neck hurt? No, Virgo, you're meant to enjoy the fruits of your hard work instead of giving the fruits of your hard work to somebody else and feeding yourself breadcrumbs. You don't have to do that anymore. You probably never should have been having to do it, but that's okay. So what you have after this is a real abundance, and it's really like discovering abundance that's there all along. Virgos, if you're feeling like you lack, it's because you're giving your power away. It's because you're giving, and then you're attracting takers. You think if I just give so much, someone's going to give back. That's not how it works. It's not going to be. You're just manifesting more giving energy. So the universe is saying, okay, Virgo's putting out, remember quantum tunneling out, giving energy. All right, we're gonna set them up so that they just keep giving. You have to set your little receptors to receiving energy so that once you practice gratefulness, receiving, and receiving, when I say receive, I mean giving to yourself, like giving yourself time to just unwind at the end of the day, giving yourself space to enjoy your pets or your garden or your whatever, okay? Real self-nurture, self-care. Then the universe goes, oh, okay, Virgo wants to receive good stuff, wants to live, okay. All right, let's send it out. Because remember, what you're creating inside, quantum tunnels out, creates your reality. Okay, and just to note on these readings, we do the 30 minutes free on YouTube using the Radiant Wise Tarot deck. Look how pretty this is. Isn't that gorgeous? The colors are just phenomenal. But like you can see here, right there, and just like the cards are just not great quality. This would not pass Virgoan standards, like in any way, shape, or form. It's quite disappointing. I'm so sorry to say, but they're still beautiful. So they're like little at the edges, but they're still really gorgeous, like visually. Okay, so we do the Radiant Wise here on YouTube, and then in the extended, for those Virgos that are going to join me on the flip side, we are going to flesh this out quite literally. The Radiant Wise 1, 2, 3, 4, we spent 30 minutes on 5 cards. This is huge energy. We also talked a lot about astrology. These are the bones. This is the bare bones of your first half of November, Virgos. And if you're clicking in, 10 years from now, it's okay. So in the extended, we use, not all of the decks, but we have the other decks available to add the muscles, to add the tissues, to add the ligaments, the cartilage, the hair, skin, nails, okay? To flesh out the story of energies further. So what we're going to do in the extended is we're going to look at what you're codependent on, what it actually is showing up energetically if you are having a difficult time seeing it or identifying it and calling it out in your life. We're going to take a look at, what wants to come up as far as healing that's around you too. Like maybe there's like a really wonderful fountainhead of healing or close by that you're just not seeing because you're so tired and your back hurts and your neck hurts and you're like, We're going to take a look at the communication. So there is communication that has to take place here, and it looks like it's coming up before you do the hermit work. So you could need to hear a message or send out a message, and I also feel like that there's going to be communication after you go through your hermit work as well. Because you're gonna have to change things up a little bit, Virgos. Okay. We're also gonna take a look at your hermit work energy. So we're gonna take a deeper dive into what it is that's going to come up as a kind of precursor. So you could use this video as not as a trigger, but like a good trigger, like a prompt, an emotional, psychic, spiritual prompt to stimulate some of this hermit work healing to help you kind of move through it, or it'll just give us more information as far as what it's about and basically anything else we need to know. That's really what comes through. And then last but not least, we're going to flesh out the Empress. We're going to take a look at your new life, it's going to feel like a new life. This is giving birth to yourself. The Empress is fertile, she's pregnant, she just receives. She literally just treats herself so well. She pampers herself, grooms herself. Listen, she makes her own dresses, okay? No one else everyone else looks like this. Everyone else is in drabby tunics and boots and monochrome colors. She has a beautiful printed dress. She has lace here, little baubles, she has beautiful cushions and pillows and rolls. She has this stream of consciousness right here in the back. She waters her, okay, she's very, all she does is treat herself well, is my point. And all she does is receive people treating her really well. The Empress is set to receive mode. The Emperor is the go-getter. The energy is projected, goes and does, goes and gets, goes and accomplishes. The Empress lays back. She washes her hair. She does her makeup. She pampers herself, lotions, oils, feeds herself good quality food, and she just enjoys it. And that quantum tunneling outwards, treating herself so well, attracts the abundance to her. Okay, so we're going to take a deeper look as far as what that looks like for you in your life, Virgo. Okay, my dears? So this is going to be an interesting, I'm glad that we're getting a little perked up with this energy. Okay, because I was like, oh, her fatigue and tiredness. What is this, Virgos? All right, so if I see you on the flip side, guys, I'll see you very shortly. And if not, if this is where we leave things, at least you have the bare bones that you need to get this work started, because it's gonna be coming up over the first half of November. So there's your heads up, my love. Take care, and I will see you mid-November or for the dailies. Bye.